Hey guys, Daryl Shergan, Quest for Vape. Let's talk about batteries for a second. We never really know, no matter what the company is, no matter what they say on the wrapper, we really never know what we're getting, what they're capable of. I'm not the kind of guy that's got equipment that can test batteries. Do you know how to test batteries? Well, there's a gentleman. If you haven't seen him yet, he's on YouTube, and his channel is called Pegasus Vapor Academy. Pegasus Vapor Academy. All right, very nice guy, very nice guy, very knowledgeable guy. Forget about nice. And that's all well and good, but this guy knows what the fuck he's doing about batteries. And he actually gets batteries, puts them on his own testing equipment. He's got software, he graphs them, and he sees what these batteries are capable of. If it's a 10 amp battery, if it's a 20 amp battery, if it's a 30 amp battery. And he's the guy that first started telling us last year, hey, wait a second, time out. Here's how batteries really work. Here's how these manufacturers, and there's only a handful of them in the world, here's how they make their batteries. And then here's how they market them. And then here's how other companies buy their batteries and then rebrand them, rewrap them, and then make boastful claims as to what they can do, their performance, their capabilities. And then we're sitting over here, we just buy them, and we listen to the hype. So how do you know what you're really going to get out of a battery? Now that answer is solved for you with the Pegasus Vapor Academy batteries. All right, the right range for the right device. Proper battery usage and safety is our honest priority. We believe in providing the community with only the most accurate information on each wrapper, including its recommended usage. Only the highest bin batteries are selected for each type. We've made choosing the best type easy. Just follow the math, not the hype. So you've got 5 different types of batteries: type A, type B, type C, type D, and type E. So type A batteries are 3,500 milliamp hour batteries. They're 10 amp batteries, and these are ultra high density, very low discharge. It's only a 10 amp battery. You do not put that in a mech mod. You don't expect high rates of discharge from it. What that's good for is 0.4 ohms or higher at 35 watts or lower, and you're going to use that in some type of regulated device. So, you know, I come along here and I'm going to be vaping on my Billo 2 Nano, and it's an RTA, and I'm vaping this at like 38 watts. All right, so what does this tell me? And I'm at a 0.5 ohm resistance on this. Hey, you know what? 35 watts or lower, guess what? That's good for a Kanger Subtank Mini, Kanger Subtank. There's a lot of people that vape at 35 watts or less. That tells me I don't need to put a Sony VTC4 battery in there to power this. I don't need to put an LG HE4, the yellow ones that are like high amps. I don't need that. I don't need a Samsung. All I need is a 10 amp battery to power this. 3,500 milliamp hours, that's going to last a hell of a long time. So if you like to vape like that and you don't need out of the gates power, like you're not in a cloud competition, you're not expecting 100 watts out of a battery, that's all you need is one battery for 10 amps. And this battery, here, let me find them. This is what the batteries look like. Battery will say so right on the wrapper. Let me find one of these 3,500 milliamp hour batteries. It's possible. You just, you know, these boastful claims of like eFest and Imren and all the other ones. Look, okay, so it doesn't matter what it says on the wrapper, but these batteries are specifically designed to be honest, and they tell you right on the battery. Hope you can see this in focus. Pegasus Vapor Academy, 3,500 milliamp hour battery. It's a 10 amp battery. Use it for what it's intended. And then it'll even say right on there, recommended usage, regulated devices of 35 watts or lower, analog single use, 0.4 ohms or higher, analog parallel, 0.4 ohms to 0.27 ohms. So if you're using this in a regulated device with 2 of them, you can go a little bit lower on the ohms because you have 2 batteries, but still in parallel. In parallel, it says analog parallel, not series. So you wouldn't put 2 of these in your Segali 150 or your IPv4S. You wouldn't put 2 of these in here and then want to rock a 0.1. It's telling you 0.4 to down to 0.27. So that's interesting, and that's the appropriate battery for this type of vaping. You go to the other end of the spectrum. Your cloud chasing, your single tube 18650 mech mod users, your folks who want a lot of power right out of the gates, and they're using very low sub-ohm, aggressive builds, parallel builds, the builds that require a lot of power, a lot of high amp draw, a lot of wattage. You would use a Type E battery. Type E battery is a 1500 milliamp hour battery, 30 amp rating, low density, ultra high discharge. Only true high discharge batteries can fully support high powered devices and ultra low builds. Recommended usage: regulated devices from 150 to 225 watts in series, analog single usage 0.15 down to 0.12 ohms, and then analog parallel 0.07 down to 0.06. You can use these for some low builds when they're on regulated devices. This is also the battery that you would use in, okay, analog is unregulated. They're basically saying if you're using a box mod and you're going to be rocking down to 0.12, you use these batteries because they're super high, ultra high discharge. And let me show you what one of those batteries looks like, because I happen to have two of each rated battery type supplied to me by none other than Pegasus himself to test these out, to use them, to get familiar with them. And I have been doing that. See that there? All right. And this is what I love about them. Right on the battery wrap, it tells you the type of usage you can expect out of this. So analog is unregulated. This is analog. This is analog. And he even says, okay, analog single usage, analog parallel. He doesn't talk about a dual series or a triple series. I guess he's saying that's a little too wacky. I take no responsibility for you if you want to do that, because that is not without its issues. All right, so what do we get from all of this? We finally have a battery that's honest. We finally have ratings on the batteries, and we finally have the ability for the average vapor to look at a battery and know, okay, this is the type of vaping that I can use this battery for. How cool is that? 5 different choices, 1 battery company, and honesty. Thank you very much for watching Quest for Vape.